my husband. Let his mother move into our home. Now she's trying to replace me as his wife. I have been married to my husband for 11 years. We met in college and built our life together from nothing. I worked double shifts as a waitress while he finished law school. And when he finally passed the bar, I cried because we could finally breathe. We bought our house 4 years ago using my inheritance from my late father as the down payment. That money was everything my dad left me. And I put every cent into our home because I trusted my husband completely. 8 months ago, my mother-in-law called my husband crying, saying she could no longer afford rent. Without asking me, my husband told her she could move in with us. I found out when she showed up at our door with 6 suitcases. She never liked me. From the day I started dating her son, she made comments about how I wasn't good enough, how he could do better. I always kept the peace for my husband's sake. When she moved in, I told myself it would be temporary. I was wrong. The first week, she rearranged my entire kitchen. She threw out my spices because they were too ethnic and replaced them with her own. When I told her I didn't appreciate that, she said she was just trying to help since I clearly didn't know how to keep a proper home. My husband told me to let it go. The second week, she started cooking all of my husband's meals. She would make dinner before I got home and set the table for 2. When I walked in, she would say, "Oh, I didn't realize you'd be eating here. I only made enough for me and my son." My husband told me to let it go. The third week, she started doing his laundry separately from mine. She would fold his clothes and put them away, but leave mine wet in the washing machine until they smelled. When I confronted her, she said she only had energy to take care of her son. My husband told me to let it go. By the second month, she had taken over. She was answering our door, answering our phone, and telling visitors she was the woman of the house. She referred to me as the girl who also lives here to neighbors. She complained about everything I did. If I vacuumed before noon, I was disrupting her sleep. If I watched TV past 9, I was being disrespectful. If I made plans with my husband, she would suddenly feel sick and need him to stay home. I tried talking to my husband dozens of times. Every conversation ended the same way. He would sigh and tell me his mother is old, his mother is lonely, his mother just needs him right now. He asked why I couldn't just be patient. He asked why I always had to start problems. Last month, I came home early because I had a migraine. I opened my bedroom door and my mother-in-law was lying in my bed, on my side, watching my TV. I asked her what she was doing in my room. She said, "My bedroom doesn't get good light. I'll be using this room during the day now. You're never home anyway." I went straight to my husband and told him. I expected him to finally take my side. He shrugged and said, "She's not hurting anything. Why do you always make everything into a fight?" Something cracked inside me. I asked him whose house this was. He said it was our house. I asked whose money paid for it. He went quiet. I asked whose name was on the deed. His face changed. I told him I wanted his mother out by the end of the month. He said I was being heartless, that I was forcing him to choose between his wife and his mother. I told him this was my house, that my father's money paid for. He got angry and said if his mother goes, he goes. I looked at him for a long time. 11 years I gave this man. I walked to the bedroom where his mother was still lying in my bed. I told her she had 30 days to leave. She laughed and yelled for my husband. "Your wife has lost her mind." He came running and stood next to his mother, the two of them side by side staring at me like I was the problem. I told them both 30 days. My husband grabbed my arm and said if I do this, our marriage is over. I told him our marriage was already over the moment he let another woman replace me. His mother's smirk vanished. I walked to my closet and started pulling out suitcases. My husband followed, asking what I was doing. I told him I wasn't staying where I'm treated like a stranger. He started panicking, telling me to calm down, that we could talk. His mother appeared in the doorway and said, "Let her go. She was never right for you anyway." I stopped packing. I turned around slowly and looked at my husband, waiting to see what he would do. What he said next made me realize I never knew him at all. Full story linked below.